Hello everyone, DeaththeHammer here once again. Today I'm showing you a roller coaster I made for a friend in creative mode, and it's quite the little task. It took a lot of time, but the fun thing about creative mode is you get unlimited resources, so you don't actually have to go and mine out like all of this glowstone that I have in here, or try to find enough iron to actually make all these tracks. So first we start off with just kind of a test track. I added to this over a long period of time to make it larger and larger. Pretty much in between my survival videos that I was working on and a couple of the other worlds and other projects I have going. So this was actually my first test to see if I could come up with I guess a roller coaster that would be interesting or fun. Um, I still have a lot of work to go, but first stop as far as outside of the actual little building is the descent down to the underworld, which you can actually see in a different video of mine. I posted what is under the Minecraft world we know and love. As you can see, I also overused the burst speed tracks, so we kind of go pretty fast through this roller coaster, although it still takes a long time. In this roller coaster I wanted to have a good representation of the entire game, not as far as gameplay or mechanics, but as far as biomes and a little bit of the stuff you can do in creative mode or in survival or any of the other realistic modes. So this biome is the, I guess, forest, hills, regular kind of everyday biome that you would generally hope to spawn in unless you're trying to do something really interesting, because this has pretty good access to almost all the resources except for the ones that are not found in this biome. As you can see, there's a desert over there. In this episode in this roller coaster, I do not actually have a coaster that goes into the desert. This right here is just the beach that goes up to the ocean, which, as you can see, I dug down into the ocean, mostly for my entertainment purposes. But it actually does turn into the desert over there, not just the beach like it is here. Hello, Piggy. Mr. Pig likes me. He's in every one of my videos, except for the one in the underworld, only because there are no pigs under the world that I know of. Yeah, to make this coaster actually took me, I think, about 5.5 to 6 hours of actual consistent game time. As far as just the laying out the blocks, probably another hour to 2 hours to put up the tracks and glowstone and to really test it and make sure that I had enough speed so I didn't have to keep restarting every single time I got into the roller coaster. So now we're gonna go over to this gorge, which these are naturally occurring. They spawn either at surface level like this one is, or actually now underneath the ground in cave systems, that sort of thing. It's kind of a cool gorge system. And yeah, you can get lava, a lot of different resources. So it's pretty cool if you can find one of those. They're pretty common as far as I've seen creating new worlds. Jeez, there's just animals all over the place trying to help me with my video. Next we're going to take a trip over to, well, what sort of is the mountains for this map. There are a lot larger mountains now, but back when I created this we were in a different version, so this was about as high as the mountains really got. And I didn't worry about trying to find even higher ones after the update, because I'd have to build a really long ways in one or more directions to try to find it, or to access it. So that's sort of the mountains that we have. Kind of sad, I know. They're more like hills now. The mountains are a lot taller, and they have a lot better drop-offs and such. but those aren't bad anyway. This is kind of the standard for a lagoon, or kind of a pond area, I guess. It's nice fresh water, really good for setting up for farms later, or growing reeds, so that way you can make lots of books and get your enchanting done, and yeah, lots of fun different stuff. Then we're also in the same part of the roller coaster going to take a look at the swamp, which is, I guess, ugly trees in the water, nasty colored grass and water, and lily pads. The lily pads, I must admit, are awesome. They're one of my favorite things that came out around that time for the swamp biome. Cow in the swamp, that's new. You're weird. I like how they're just over there on their own anyway. As you can see, I kind of set up the building over there to be the central hub. That way I could always expand from it if I wanted to do even more things, as far as going into new biomes or making more of a event track rather than just a this is what Minecraft has to offer in biomes. So now we're going up on the rooftop. This again was it was designed more for the fun aspect, just to see how tight the curves you could make are, and I guess the minecart still be responsive. The shorter turns, like 1 or 2 blocks, make it look really jerky, so it messes with your camera and you kind of freak out a little bit when it goes around sharp corners. But this is 4 blocks wide, and it actually feels pretty tight and responsive as far as the left to right. It also gives you a chance to look at the nice sky and the sun, which is kind of a strange square. Pretty once you're here a while though. Originally this was going to be a, I think, 8 separate coaster track with one central kind of train station. With that same sort of like Grand Central Station concept, but I don't know, it took too much time to set up the tracks and set up all the carts, and then you have to go and retrieve all the carts once different people go through, and I haven't done any redstone automation for mine carts or any of that, so I wasn't going to have the carts auto-returned. So I just connected all of them and made it one fun thing. Plus it works great when you're trying to explain the game to new people. Now this area is more just the standard plains. I have a friend who loves to play exclusively on this type of terrain, purely because he likes to build large sprawled out structures and have farms and little animal areas that are large and flat, and he can put up fences and see everything. I don't know, I like a little bit of diversity in the things that I build, not just one unified area. But different things for different people, so Minecraft is great for allowing you to have several different ways to build. Gives you a lot more replayability also. Yes, I did that. Poor cow. But as you can see, yeah, the plains are kind of a boring area unless you're looking for animals or flowers or trying to gather seeds or eggs. I don't even see the chicken. Oh, there's the chicken. Guess the egg did come before the chicken. Scientific fact just proven. This was the last area that we're heading towards now as far as a biome. It was added towards the end of the whole patch area when I put this together, and it is ice, which glowstone, well, ice and cold, snow, blah blah blah, whatever. But glowstone actually melts the ice, which is why you see water here. That's actually what's keeping it warm. And there's a rare and elusive snow pig. Hello, snow pig. Aw, you did do that, didn't you? You just gotta be helpful. It's probably because he heard I was making fun of his friends or something. Or abused that cow. That's the karma pig right there. Just doesn't want anything to go right for me. Oh, I'm floating. Okay, now we're back on track. It's funny that that ended so far to the end. Oh, lava. I actually taped this 4 times and had that happen about 6 or 7 times where I just hit different cows or sheep, and I just could not put up with having 3 or 4 different breakups like that. So, this one's acceptable. One right at the end. But overall, that is my roller coaster. Although it isn't the best one that's out there, I'm sure. It's my take on it. So, thank you guys for watching.